Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm about to eat my lunch. This is gonna be an audio, but we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about today. Close these doors real quick. We gotta talk about it today, y'all. I gotta eat. I'm getting ready for lunch, y'all. So y'all can tell I got all my stuff out. See, I'm eating. I'm eating lunch. So we gotta talk about this today, cause this is really bothering me. Hey, Miss Cora. So yeah, here's the thing, right, y'all. Hold on, let me I'm trying to get my stuff together, y'all. Wait. Because we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. Let me tell y'all something, right? The next untold truth. This is going to be a headbanger. I got so many emails. I mean, I haven't even checked my Pipeline News emails, y'all, in 2 days. I just checked it this morning. If I tell y'all the information that came across the pipeline about Mr. Sincere, the little dirty dude, where is he? I can't believe. Here's my thing. I can't believe Columbus police is dropping the ball with this case. This is crazy. First of all, y'all trying to give Mr. Kyson 16 and a half years for this assault. Then y'all go snatch Mr. Williams up. Mr. Williams is out on bond, people. Mr. Williams is out on bond, and he just got out on bond a couple days ago. I got the paperwork. I got all the court documents. Shout out to the pipeline for sending me that information. Oh, y'all know I'm gonna most definitely show all of this on the channel. He's out on bond. So if y'all could let Mr. Williams out on bond after y'all got all the evidence that he played a part on Dirt Place, why y'all give him a bond? It shouldn't have been no way Mr. Williams should have been able to bond out. I haven't even looked through the court documents to see how much was his bond. With a 10%. So is Columbus police giving all these boys plea deals? Because I don't understand how Mr. Williams is out on bond that quick. And then the little dirty dude, y'all still ain't got him yet. Mr. McIntyre. Like this shit, y'all, I'm in shock right now at all of this that's going on. Don't worry about it. We gonna get down to the bottom of it. I just found out that Mr. Williams was out on bond. I can't believe they let him out on bond. Columbus police is dropping the ball. Y'all take the people through all this agony on worrying about who did this to Courtney. Y'all nab all of them and give them plea deals and they on the run. And now one of them is out on bond. What kind of shit is this? What is Columbus police doing? It ain't making sense. It ain't adding up. Yes, he is out on bond. Mr. Jamonda Williams. He's out on bond. And his paperwork clearly say he's been charged with murder. Go to the court documents. It's all public information. But I'm going to show y'all. On the pipeline. And y'all know who else I kind of want to call out today on the next video? I need to, hey, MTGTV, I need to talk to Winter PX. It's some stuff with Winter PX that we got to clear up because the information that she dropped us is jewels. Some things that she said, I can't verify with research and stuff I done. But the whole shit with this car, with Mr. Lockhart, from what she's saying, Winter PX, with the whole Mr. Lockhart moving the car and the whole Courtney being shot in the head, I can't really vouch for that, y'all. I don't know how y'all feel. How y'all feeling about this stuff Winter PX saying? Now, we know she is Boog's family members. We know she's a family member. But it's some of her information, it just ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, she did give some stuff that I can't actually validate with some stuff that she's saying. It's too many mishaps in her story. It's like she came and said Boog got shot in the head. I've never seen no report that she got shot in the head. Have y'all seen that? Just came from my interview with What Up Pipeline. Hey, Chris. What's up, everybody? Glad y'all all right. But how is y'all feeling with the whole Winter PX? Because I do appreciate her coming over here. But then it's like, the shit she's saying with this car situation ain't adding up. Then she said with the pink, the car was at my auntie house, Miss Wanda's house. So how could the car be at Miss Wanda's house if she drove her car to Mr. Lockhart's house? So if she didn't drive her Caprice, whose car did she drive to go over Mr. Lockhart's house? Cause remember when I showed y'all the alleged truth, we went on Dork Plays, and I'm like, okay, well, Boog was getting out the call when we played the 911. How in the hell Jamonda Williams out on bond and charged with murder? What the fuck is this all about? Miss Cora, I couldn't even tell you. Y'all go find out. Columbus police just let this young man out on bond, the second suspect. I think this is unbelievable when he's charged with murder. And then this whole thing, Cora, car can't be in two places at once. Y'all, something ain't right with that. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, and then tell me this, y'all. Have y'all ever heard that Courtney was shot in the head? I never heard that story. But then it's like, how can I? And I never seen no proof of that story. See what I'm saying? So it's like, how can I argue with her if she's saying, this my cousin, she got shot in the head. I did her hair for the funeral. How can I debate with that? How can I can't go back and forth with that. But at the same time, I ain't got no proof of none of that. I haven't heard not one story of Courtney being shot in the head. Only thing I heard was about the chest shots. Am I right? If y'all heard something about a headshot, put it in the comments and let me know. And the little dirty dude, who is that? Was that Chris? I don't think Chris was on the live that day. Remember the little dirty dude? Y'all put the picture up, and I got so many pictures of dude. Like, we gonna go all the way in on Mr. McIntyre's lifestyle. The stuff I got on him is just, it's not puzzling because look at him. Y'all see the picture? He's standing by the garbage can. He a little dirty dude. Like, nothing about him is puzzling or shocking to us. He's a young kid who's fucking lost. He's a follower. He's not a leader. But my thing is, if they letting all these people get these plea deals and they out on bond, and now Mr. McIntyre ain't nowhere to be found. What happened on Dork Place? What the hell happened on Dork Place where these people were just getting off? They giving them bonds and can't find the little dude. Like, where's the little dude going? He gotta be somewhere in Columbus. He gotta be. He's in somebody's trap house or basement or something. And she said Courtney was shot in the head, and that's why she was buried in a hat. That's what I'm saying. But here's the thing that I don't understand. In every other case you could find, anybody case, it's always an autopsy report or a medical examiner report. Why we can't access that piece of paper on Courtney? Where is the autopsy report? Where is the medical examiner reviews? Where is the music? It's a lot of stuff being hid in her case. I don't know what this is all about. Y'all, I've never seen no case like this. This shit is really throwing me for a loop because I've never been so baffled in a case in all my life. It's so many twists and turns to this story. I don't think y'all understand how many layers is to this story. But then somebody comment like, oh, well, how you know Courtney wasn't the aggressor, or it's going to make it seem like it was her fault. And I'm like, well, what made you say that? But the person, y'all go back to, I think it was the last little video I did, the person commented on it. I'm like, so what you trying to say? She was the aggressor? So I don't know if that person knows something that we don't know, but it all puzzles me back to Dork Place. What the hell happened on Dork Place where they only giving Mr. Kyson goddamn 16 and a half years after he done rolled over and told on everybody? We know he took a plea deal, right? But why would they let Mr. Williams out on bond so he can flee again and run? Who knows when they're going to be able to catch up with Mr. Williams? Did they put him on a monitor, GPS monitor, where they can't track his movement? Because if they didn't do that, I just don't see Columbus police doing what they supposed to do. It seems like they dropping the ball now. They took a long time to get all this shit together. And then when they do get him, they giving out plea deals and bonds. So what the hell happened on Dork Place? What the hell happened on Dork Place, people? It ain't making sense, but I tell you what, them emails and stuff that I got on Mr. McIntyre and Mr. Williams, this shit is crazy. It's gonna blow y'all all the way out the park. Shout out to the pipeline for getting me them emails. Shout out to the people in Columbus. His family know where he at. I think they hiding him. You know what, Chris? And if his family is hiding him and the police know that, they're going to go down too. You cannot harbor a fugitive. That's harboring a fugitive. That is. And I'm still trying to figure out the shit that Winter PX came over here and told us. Because we're not going to just throw her under the bus and like, oh, she not telling us the truth and all that. But it's holes in her story that I think she need to come and clear up because it ain't making sense. She said Cameron moved the car, right? Winter PX said Mr. Lockhart moved the car from out his driveway and paid for it to go somewhere else. Hey, 420 East, what's going on, big bro? So, did Winter PX say this, y'all? And y'all remember on the live when she said it. Maybe they think he is their fastest way to catching Mr. McIntyre. Maybe if they think they follow him, it would lead them to Mr. McIntyre. Could be true. I mean, Miss Corey, you know what? That do make a lot of sense, though, if you think about it. Because that's why I'm like, see, I didn't read all the documents. I'm going to show you all the documents. If not tonight, tomorrow, because I'm still doing this pantry. And Miss Corey, I need to find them containers to put the rice and the mashed potatoes in. But we're going to talk about that on another one. But listen, only way I could see that really happening, Miss Corey, is if they put the GPS monitor on Mr. Williams, and he could lead them straight to Mr. McIntyre. But here's the thing: what will Mr. McIntyre's family put their freedom on the line for harboring a fugitive? For harboring a fugitive, because at this point, Mr. McIntyre is on the run. He ain't got no money. Y'all seen the little dirty dude. The little dirty dude probably still robbing people to stay on the run. It's gonna be about a matter of time. Hey, Blanky. Are damn near family members. No. Is they family members? Jamonda and Sincere are damn near family member. They adopted. Oh, yeah. So that's why you know what, y'all? Now it all kind of makes sense now. Because they know that already, because we know the feds is ahead of us. We know that. So they let Mr. Williams out just so they can nab Mr. McIntyre. That's exactly what it seemed like. Because further than that, what would be the reason on why y'all would let Mr. Williams out on bond when if y'all go to his paperwork, when y'all go to the court records, it's going to say out on bond, it's going to show y'all the date, and it's going to say murder charges. It said charges, bond. I think when I just read it, it said released on bond. I want to say it said the 14th. It said the 14th or the 12th. I can't remember, y'all, that he was bonded out. And it said charges. And at the bottom where it says charges, next to that, it say murder. So why would y'all let a murder suspect that y'all know out on bond only unless it's part of the plan to go nab McIntyre? Makes sense. I didn't even see how much his bond was. I didn't even see. I got to go back and see it because shout out to, I'm going to just give this person initials. Shout out to SM, if you watching it. Shout out to SM for sending me all those court documents on Mr. Williams and the shit with Mr. McIntyre. Thank you so much, SM. I appreciate that. It don't make sense. I don't know what his bond was, but I'm thinking whatever his bond was, it had to be 10% or 10% or something. Them little dirty dudes ain't got no money. Mr. Williams don't look like he got no money. Mr. McIntyre ain't got no money. Both of them is kids, y'all. They both under the age of 18. Where is they about to get some money and family members bonding them out? You feel me? For them to go back to jail. So who put the bond money up? Because it's already proof and evident that they're going down for murder. So who would put that bond money up knowing they not about to get it back? Y'all, it ain't making sense. It ain't making sense. And when I just seen that Mr. Blanky TV, SM is me, LOL. I love you, Blanky. Thank you, Blanky. Listen, I was trying to cover up your real name. That's why I was like SM, because you know me, I ain't putting nobody personal information out, but the goddamn assailants, the killers, all their information getting put out there. Because as we can see, Mr. Goddamn McIntyre, he looked like he living in bandos. Look, did y'all see the picture with all the goddamn garbage on the side of him? Them jeans look like they ain't been washed. I'm like, yeah, this is a little dirty dude. He is either, family is either hiding him out, because he probably telling them, I ain't do it. It wasn't me, da-da-da. So they probably hiding him out, or he in somebody's basement or a bando. He ain't got no money. Where is he going? That's why I'm like, what is Columbus police doing where y'all ain't got the little dirty dude yet? Why y'all ain't got the little dirty dude? That's all I'm going to call him. When y'all hear me talk about Mr. McIntyre, we addressing him as the little dirty dude, because that's what he is. I don't understand this. I just read these documents, y'all. Pissed me off. So now I'm starting to wonder, like, and see, I still kind of think Winter PX is genuine. I do. I think she is genuine, but it's some shit in her stories and the information she running over here ain't going with me. We ain't going with that shit, because you gotta come through with the evidence on what you trying to say. You told us Boog drove her car to Mr. Lockhart's house. That's what you told us, Winter PX. And then you turn around and say, Boog, you said Cameron moved the car. And then you said she didn't drive to Cameron house. You was like, she wasn't in the pink and black car. I said, Winter PX, we know she wasn't in her Caprice Classic, because they was in Cameron car on Dorp Place. She said she had the hat on. I did her hair for the funeral. She was shot in the head. So I'm like, okay, well, how am I argue with that? You her family, you went to the thing. I just need her to clear some stuff up, because y'all know I got a lot of different people after me in my emails and trying to shut my channel down. And it's coming from either MJN. And then this the part that also make me think Winter PX ain't fucking with MJ and them, where she solid to a point, because she didn't have to tell us that MJ and KB went to Miss Wanda's house and stole the goddamn chains and the pendant in the Louis Vuitton backpack in Boog room behind the TV. So she didn't have to tell us that. So I'm in the mixed place with Winter PX, y'all. I don't know. I need her to come back up here so we can get some things straightened out, because it makes me think, whatever happened on Dorp Place, is we really close to figuring out what happened on Dorp Place? If they giving him a bond and only giving Mr. Lockhart 16 and a half years, and the little dirty dude is still on the run, what the fuck happened on Dorp Place for all this shit to be going on the way that is going on? Did Mr. Williams play a part, or was he the setup person who here she was going to go do? I got to go through all this information that I got. I got to go through these emails. I got some people who personally know Mr. Sincere McIntyre who done got in touch with me, y'all. Some people who know him personally has reached out to the pipeline. Don't worry about it. We're going to talk about all that. Mr. Lockhart had a bomb. Hold on. Mr. Lockhart had a bond of 1.5? Don't tell me, Mr. Nah, y'all, wait a minute. I'm blown. Please don't tell me Mr. Lockhart went to jail and he out on bond too. Don't tell me that, y'all. Please don't tell me that ain't true. If he went to jail on bond, Blanky, you gotta send me that receipt. So wait a minute. So Mr. Lockhart, is he out on bond now? This shit is getting deep. It is. When I tell y'all, I ain't never seen no shit like this. This is crazy. No, he's still in custody, but up until 8/21, he had a bond. Is you talking about Mr. Kyson? Blanky, I think you talking about Mr. Kyson. We got Mr. Lockhart. Mr. Lockhart is the one who was in the car with Courtney when all this happened. We got Mr. Lockhart, who was in the car with Courtney when it happened. We got Mr. Kyson, who was the first suspect, I believe, who was the ringleader in all of this. Somebody paid Mr. Kyson. I don't think Mr. Kyson just went and they just pulled this by itself. Either somebody paid Mr. Kyson and he went and got the little dirty crew, because all these dudes are some little dirty dudes, period. He went and got the little dirty crew and they pulled the plate for the Lolo. It looked like they got paid for the Lolo to pull the goddamn plate, and whatever money they got off of Courtney was supposed to have been the money they all split it up. So altogether, how much money did they really all throw their life away for? A couple bands? It's looking like they threw it all away for a few bands. Possibly. Yes, Kyson. I knew you was talking about Kyson Blanket. Yep, it's Kyson. So we got Mr. Lockhart, who was in the car with Boog. We got Mr. Kyson, who is the oldest. Kyson is 22. I believe 22 or 24. I want to say 22. Mr. Kyson was the oldest out of all the crew. We got Mr. Williams, Jamonda Williams. I believe he's 17. And the little dirty dude, Mr. McIntyre, he's 17. That's what I'm saying. The whole crew look weird. Don't the whole crew look weird, goofy, and dirty. All of them. These dudes, these boys ain't had no money. They ain't had no money. They was lost, hitting licks, robbing. They probably was robbing people for little weed, little money. They really wasn't doing nothing. They was trying to do something. They was young. They have no experience. They don't know what they doing. It's obvious the way they living. They wasn't hitting no big licks. Look at them. Look at all of them. Like, they ain't getting no money. They're just robbing for tools and fuels. They threw it all away for tools and goddamn fuels. And look at them. Threw their whole life away. Not only that, put all these families in mourning and in pain behind the decisions they all chose to make. It's simply what it is. Because I'm about to say Mr. Lockhart was out on bond. This just took me a whole nother way because I'm like, nah, Mr. Lockhart, they took his statement. He stayed with Boog at the hospital. That is confirmed. Mr. Lockhart did stay with her at the hospital. Yeah, Miss Wanda, she far. Miss Wanda, y'all, is doing real good, but I don't think nobody could do good after losing a child. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be in grieving she's going to grieve for a long time. That's why I'm always praying for Miss Wanda. Like, this is not an easy thing to go through. I mean, death, period, and then losing a child, because as parents, we supposed to outlive our children. We supposed to outlive our children. So any death of a child, or like I said, even with the prison system, I think when a person get life or these people commit these crimes and in a jail cell for the rest of their life, I still look at that as a death sentence too. When your freedom is revoked and you cannot be active in society and be with your loved ones, that is a death sentence. I cannot believe Mr. Williams is out on goddamn bond. This is just puzzling to me. And then he been on bond for a couple days. So I'm like, how much is his bond? And who put the bond up? Who put the goddamn bond up for this damn murder case, for this baby to go back on the fucking run and hiding? If possible, hopefully he bring them Mr. McIntyre. I hope Columbus police did not drop the ball and let this boy out on bond without putting a GPS monitor on him. I hope they didn't drop the ball like that, because he most definitely need to be on some kind of house arrest or something. This is the part where I feel like the police and the justice system dropped the goddamn ball at, because you know what happened when they do stuff like this and they send these suspects or these killers and all that and put them back into the street. That's when street justice kicks in. That they don't think people of these deceased ones have family members and real friends that will really kill something for their loved ones, they deceased ones. So it's like the police put them in this situation like, okay, we can't get you, so we gonna let the streets get you then, since we can't get you. It's like it's preventing, they trying to prevent some shit, but actually provoking some shit at the same time. So only thing I could think of, and I'm gonna look into all of this. I'm gonna release all the emails I got on Mr. Sincere. I'm gonna also release. I'm gonna release all the court documents that I have on Mr. Williams and Mr. McIntyre. People who know Mr. McIntyre has emailed me about Mr. McIntyre, and they pretty much just confirmed what we said. They just told me some details, what school he went to, his lifestyle. He always been a little dirty dude, basically from the email. They were saying the boy always been cold-hearted, lost. They pretty much, like we always said. But I'm gonna show y'all the emails with all this stuff. And let me sift through it. My lunch is getting cold, y'all, but I need y'all to tell me, what do y'all think about Mr. Williams being on bond? And what do y'all think about some of the information Winter PX is saying? Because y'all gotta think about it. Sometimes these people work with other people to try to come against me or get me to change my narrative, right? But y'all know I'm smarter than that. Y'all know I'm on my toes. I'm always on my toes. So when people come through the little lives and be trying to comment, give us little stories and scenarios and shit, they think they be throwing me off. But most of the time, they end up putting themselves in the fire because I remember all the information that is being said. I screenshot a lot of stuff and I call them out on it. Miss Cora, I don't know. Y'all go Google it when y'all get a chance. Google Mr. McIntyre, put Boog name in it, and it's going to say, when you go to the court documents, go to Columbus Court Documents. It's public information. Put his name in, and it's sure enough going to come out. Mr. Williams is out on bond. I couldn't believe it. I just seen it today. But the crazy part is I had the email 2-3 days ago, but I didn't get the email from the first day he got bonded out. Thank you, Blanky, for sending it to me. Blanky sent it to me like, yeah, Mr. Williams out on bond, but I didn't get it until today. So then when I read Blanky's email, and then I go check it out myself, I said, damn, he sure is out on bond. I think he got out on bond. I want to say, y'all, it say the 12th of this month or the 14th. He just got out they just bonded him out a couple days ago. I'm actually still shocked that they don't have Mr. McIntyre yet. I just can't believe this dude is still on the fucking run. I think Columbus police is on him, though. I think Columbus police is on him. I still think they real close to getting his ass if somebody don't turn him in. Because this the thing, if family is hiding, how long if family is hiding him out, right? How long do y'all think that the family is going to hide him out? Man, they not about to hide him out for no weeks or no months. They're going to get tired of him sitting there looking dirty and shit. Like, come on, man, your little dirty ass. You ain't doing no dishes. You ain't taking no garbage out. You come on, get your ass up out of here. He's not bringing nothing to the table, even though they know he's in hiding. Y'all know black families don't roll like that. Y'all know black families ain't rolling like that. Black families like getting them kids out the house. Like it's back to school time. Y'all know black folk. If the kids gotta go to school, we gotta go to work. Your ass doing something too. They not about to sit there with his weird little dirty ass in a house for weeks at a time hiding him. No, he's steady trying to figure out the next game plan every day. And then they let Mr. Williams out, and guess what? Like Miss Cora said, Mr. Williams is gonna lead them straight goddamn to Mr. McIntyre if they families. Like y'all said, they damn near family members. They damn near family members. So that's exactly what's gonna happen. We thought in 3 days Mr. McIntyre would be nabbed by now. Some people said 24 hours, 72 hours. I said 3 days to between 7 days. Look like we are almost pretty much wrong. How long is it gonna be before they get Mr. McIntyre in custody? And then when he get in custody, we gotta worry about, cause think about it, they trying to get off with that minor shit. Like, oh, we minors, so we could be charged as minors because we was 17. I don't think they're gonna be charged as minors. I think they're gonna be charged as adults. Think about it. By the time trial comes and all that. Because Mr. Kyson, he go back to court. Mr. Kyson, he go to court, I want to say December 8th, right? About time all of them get ready to go to trial, they will be 18. They will be 18 and will be charged as adults. Trust to believe that. They not trying them boys as minors and only give them a year in jail. No, I don't think it's going to go like that. Mr. Kyson saved himself. Mr. Kyson saved himself by telling on everybody. That's the only reason why he got the plea deal that he got. But think about it. Everybody ain't about to just walk away with no plea deals like that. They all about to start rolling on each other. So now Kyson had told his story. Mr. Williamson told his story. Keep in mind, Mr. Lockhart was the first story they ever got from anybody. Was Mr. Lockhart's story because he was with Boog. So he was the witness to everything. To everything. Mr. Lockhart was. They had his statement first before they had anybody's statement. Was Mr. Lockhart. So they put Mr. Lockhart's story together, Mr. Kyson's story together, now Mr. Williams' story together. My thing is, Mr. Williams just got picked up and they gave him a bond in less than goddamn 5 days. So I'm like, what did he go in there? What did he go in there and tell them for them to give him a bond that goddamn fast? And when did Mr. Williams go to court? See, I'm about to get to the bottom of all that. He had to just have a court date maybe last week. So he just, wait a minute. See, I got to go back through these timelines because we got to get this shit right. Mr. Williams haven't even been in custody, not even 2 weeks. I don't even think it's been 9 days. Have it even been 10 days? I don't even think it's been 10 days that Mr. Williams was locked up. And then he go to court, and then he bond straight out in a couple days. I don't know. Is he an informant now? Is Mr. Williams an informant at this point? Because this ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. That boy got a bond. That boy got a bond in like 5 days. Who bonded him out? And is he an informant at this point? I ain't never seen nothing like this, y'all. I'm not saying it don't happen, but I could not believe it. I'm like, okay, so who sent them? Who sent them? Was this place set up by MJ and KB? Is it possible? Who paid? Who paid Mr. Kyson and them little dirty dudes? Who paid them? If not, somebody paid Mr. Kyson, and Mr. Kyson paid the little dirty crew. But the thing was, I think the little dirty crew was supposed to have got their money out of Boog, out the robbery. But when he called the cousin, when Mr. Kyson called the family members and told them to come pick up a large sum of money or whatever. From what I'm hearing, the little money was between like 1,000 and 1,600. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's a fact. I don't know. But I heard it wasn't over 2 bands. It wasn't over 2 bands. So what would be the motive on all of them to pull this? Y'all know how many names we have discussed on this channel. We have maybe discussed about 8 to 9 people who could have possibly had an involvement in this. They was not sitting on door place with everybody with a mask in their pocket. If this wasn't planned, all of them had masks. Who walks around with just masks on? This was all set up, y'all. It was all set up. Who unlocked the back door? We don't know. But as time is going on, like I tell y'all, every week or every other day is something new coming out about this case. This case, every corner you turn is just full of surprises. It's full of goddamn surprises. And it goes to show how much of an asset Courtney really was, because it took men and women to bring her to her demise. All of these people that was involved they all knew who she was, but it was a reason why this play was going down. Could it possibly been about these chains? I need them chains. If I'm not gonna get it from you, not gonna give it back to me, don't worry about it. I'm gonna find a way to get it back. I'm gonna get that bread back. If you don't wanna give me the chain, give me my bread back. Could it possibly been the whole situation about these goddamn chains? Could it possibly been? Because I think the chain story hold more weight than the damn drug transaction story. I do. I do believe they went on Dork Place either to meet dude who he or she was going to go do, Mr. Williams, possibly. That's a possibility. She went over there to meet Mr. Williams, to do his hair or see what was going on. That's a possibility. And it's also a possibility about this drug transaction story. Them could have been the only two things that Mr. Lockhart and Courtney was on Dork Place for. It ain't no other reason why they was on Dork Place. It's either about that hair or it's about a drug transaction. It ain't no other way. If y'all got another story on what it possibly could have been, drop it in the comments. Because for MJ to be allegedly following Mr. Kyson on goddamn Instagram, and this is your whole lover's killer, what is the connection between Kyson and MJ? Is they family members? Is they second or third cousins through marriage or something? Or was this all a play to get the chains back from Boog? It got to be a connection there. All of these people and characters is just not connected, coincidental. So they get Mr. Kyson, right? Because when they hit Kyson with the murder charge, I guess after they picked him up or whatever, Kyson after Boog had passed, when we didn't know who was responsible for this at this point. This was maybe a week or two after Courtney passed away. Mr. Kyson ended up going to jail for another case, but they didn't connect that case to Courtney case because at that point he was not a suspect. Mr. Kyson was in jail in May, sometime after Boog passed. He did something. I read the charge. I don't know what it was. I think it was a driving charge or something. He was in custody when they hit him with the Courtney charge. You see what I'm saying? I had just read that. And somebody came to the pipeline and was like, yeah, I was locked up with him in Columbus. Y'all remember when the dude came on the live and said he was locked up in the county jail with Kyson at the end of May? So it's crazy. So then it's like, okay, they get Mr. Kyson, right? Mr. Kyson get in there, flip on every goddamn body, just like we damn near said. Shortly after, right? They get Mr. Williams, 17-year-old Jamonda Williams. They get him. He ain't even been in custody 10 days yet. They nabbed him, take him to court. He get a bond, and now he's bonded out right now. As we speak, Mr. Williams is bonded out, the second suspect. I think this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. And then Mr. McIntyre, little dirty ass, still on the run? If his family is harboring him, they will go to jail for harboring a fugitive. That's a fact. Y'all been knowing we looking for this boy. It's all on TV, all over media. He is a suspect in a murder case of a celebrity. Because Boog most definitely was a celebrity. So it ain't no way his family do not know if they get caught with his body in their house, they will be going to jail for harboring a fugitive. Ain't no way about that. Columbus police been looking for him for 3 months. 3 months they've been looking for him. It ain't making sense to me, y'all. Only thing I could think of, I don't know who put that damn bond money up for Mr. Williams, but whoever put that money up, like y'all said, they damn near family members, Mr. McIntyre and Mr. Williams. They adopted cousins or something, y'all said. So it's just a matter of time before he's an informant, Mr. Williams. I don't know, y'all, how they just gave him that bond after he got locked up and shit. It ain't even been 7-8 days and he's out on bond already. It seemed like he's an informant. And I hope he is on the GPS monitor where he can lead the feds straight to goddamn Mr. McIntyre in somebody's bando or basement. I hope they get their ass. I really do. I really do. So now, with Mr. Williams being out on bond, when do he go back to court? I see, that's what I'm saying. I gotta go through these documents. Thank you, Blanky, for sending me these documents. Thank you. So I didn't want to hold y'all up too much longer. I just had to, I'm still eating my lunch and it got cold, but it's okay, I'm gonna still eat. So, I just gotta do more research on these goddamn court dates and how much was his bond, Who paid for the bond? And when is his next court date? And did he come home? Did they release him on the GPS monitor? Because now Mr. Williams cannot walk freely through Columbus. Ain't no way he's walking freely through there after being plastered all on the news and all on the internet for being the second suspect. He's most definitely about to be in hiding too. He's not about to walk freely. He ain't about to walk freely through there. At first he could because nobody knew he was a suspect. Nobody knew he was a suspect, so he probably was just living his little life in Columbus, kicking and smoking, whatever they doing, drinking. But it's a different ball game now because now everybody know you as a suspect in this murder. Right, December 16th. That's when Mr. Kyson go to court. Kyson go in December. I wonder when is Mr. Williams? When is Mr. Williams' next court date? Because he had to have a court date to get a bond. He had to recently just go to court. They picked him up and he must have went to court like 2 or 3 days later because he haven't even been in custody 10 days yet and got a goddamn bond and out. I think Shamonda court date is 8/20. Well, that's in a couple days. So here's the thing. Y'all, am I missing something, y'all? So he just got bonded out on the 12th or 14th, right? A couple days ago. He go back to court in a couple days. Is it possible they can keep him on the 20th? Or do y'all think it's still going to go, they're going to give him a continuance? Because I just don't see, I don't understand how the judge even gave him a bond. His bond should have been revoked. His bond should have been revoked. That's why I'm like, is he an informant? Is he working with them people at this point? Because how if Mr. Kyson bond was that high, y'all seen what Kyson bond was. That's why his ass still sitting in there. How is Mr. Williams able to get this little bond money up, the age that he is, if he ain't no informant? He probably coming straight on out to go nab goddamn Mr. McIntyre. I bet you that's how that go. They're using Mr. Williams to find Mr. McIntyre. Right. Willie, that's what Miss Cora said. That's what Miss Cora said, because it's like, why y'all ain't give him no why y'all didn't give him no GPS monitor? Now that's the part that I feel like that's the part to me that's puzzling, because if he's not on no kind of house arrest or no kind of GPS system, how is they gonna keep up with him besides but tracking the phone? Tracking the phone? Because these little dirty dudes, I'm telling y'all, it was just a matter of time before they all start folding on each other. Y'all don't think Mr. Williams feels some kind of way that Mr. Kyson had ratted on him? Like, damn, you supposed to be my bro. You supposed to be my bro. You paid me to do this shit with you. Then you go in here and tell on everybody? Come on, man. So y'all know what kind of game it is already. So now Mr. Williams feels some kind of way because he know Mr. Kyson had flipped on him. Now Mr. McIntyre like, both of y'all is the police and working with them. I ain't fucking with either one of y'all. But here's the thing. Mr. McIntyre so goddamn slow. Because y'all see, little dirty dude, he don't think right. He's so goddamn slow. He don't even know that Mr. Williams is coming home and informant and on GPS and about to lead the police straight to his goddamn ass. Whoever family member is hiding him, whatever family member is hiding Mr. McIntyre, they will be going to jail for harboring a fugitive before Mr. Williams catch up with their ass. They better get him out their house before Mr. What's name get in touch with him, because either which way it go, the walls is closing in on Mr. McIntyre. So rather if Mr. Williams get the police, get him straight up, either which way it go, the walls is closing in on him because he don't have nowhere to go for too much longer. He don't have the financial plugs to travel and do what he need to do. Living on the run is stressful. How much time you think they are gonna get? I hope all of them spend the rest of their life in jail. Me personally, for what they did to Courtney. Courtney ain't deserve that, y'all. She ain't deserve that what they did to her. This was very, very overboard. It was brazen and it was very disrespectful. They all knew who she was. And then for the fact y'all did all this to a female. She is a whole girl. A whole girl. What street cred could they possibly think they was gonna get off of this? You don't get no street cred for killing no girl. What was they possibly thinking? Me personally, I hope they all spend the rest of their life in jail. I really do. I hope they never ever get to see daylight ever again in life. Just because of the decisions that they chose to make and the kind of person Courtney was, how they did it, how they set it up. I don't think, and this is what I'm going to tell y'all, to me, that is a kicker out of this whole goddamn shit. I don't believe these is going to be the only 3 in jail. I don't. Other people is going to jail too because somebody set this whole thing up. This just wasn't Mr. Kyson's plan. Somebody paid Mr. Kyson and somebody set all of this shit back up. Somebody set all this up. So it won't surprise me after this is done and over with when they get Mr. McIntyre, because all of this is still an investigation, y'all. It's still an investigation. They still got to get down to who unlocked that back door to let all of them come straight on in. Y'all see what I'm saying? They keeping him under surveillance because of what? I can't believe they let this little dirty ass out, y'all. I cannot believe they let Mr. Williams out on bond. Only reason why I could really feel okay with that at this point with him being on bond is him being on GPS monitor to go nab Mr. McIntyre. That's the only thing I'm cool with, knowing he's out on bond. So if he's out on bond and they watching him, tracking him, surveillance, I think he gonna lead them straight to him. He wouldn't go find Mr. McIntyre, so let him feel like he's free to go. Yup, that's what's happening. They let him think, because he's young. Y'all know what I'm saying? He's young. He probably on all them drugs, because Mr. Williams look like he on Molly's and shit. I'm going to be honest. Them boys look like they on X pills, Xannies, Molly. They look like they on everything. They do. They look like they on everything. So think about the chemical imbalance within them boys. They ain't thinking right. He thinking like, yeah, I am free. I'm about to be out here. He probably thinking he about to go on a run and all kind of shit. I believe he's working with them. He's an informant. Ain't no way they let that boy come home in 5 days after just getting him for the murder of her, and then he out on bond in 5 days. He's an informant. He's an informant. And his job is to go get Mr. McIntyre. I believe that's the whole reason why they let his ass out. Look how much Mr. Kyson bond was. So why would Mr. Williams' bond be any lesser? How would they just let him out on $1,000 bond, $5,000 bond? Ain't nobody in his family putting that money up for that little dirty dude. Ain't nobody putting that money up for them. Unless he working with them people and they let him out as an informant to go get Mr. McIntyre. You work with us, we gonna work you a plea deal out like we did your buddy. Like we did your buddy, Mr. Kyson. That's what they're gonna do. That's what they doing. Actually, I don't believe nobody put no 5 and 10,000 up for Mr. Williams. I don't. Especially when they know he done killed this girl. They know he has something to do with Courtney's death. Nobody put that money up. He's an informant and they let his ass out to go get Mr. McIntyre. That's what this whole shit is about. Because when it first broke and they like, damn, he been out since the 14th. I think, y'all, don't quote me on that, the paperwork, y'all could Google it. It said he was bonded out on the 12th or the 14th of this month. So I'm like, wait a minute. He just got bonded out a couple days ago. He just got bonded out a couple days ago. I'm like, this ain't making sense. This ain't adding up. He got to be some kind of informant. It ain't adding up. Who the hell get bonded out that goddamn fast after being picked up on a murder charge of a well-known artist? This is a murder charge. How he get bonded out? And imagine how much the bond was. You might think about the bond. How much, man, nobody putting that money up for that little dirty dude. He's an informant. That's just what it is, y'all. He's an informant. He probably gonna come home with the GPS monitor so they can mark him. They already got his phone tapped. His phone is already tapped. Surveillance is already on the boy. He about to lead them straight to Mr. McIntyre. They probably think they about to get high or something. Oh, you out, you out. What they say? What happened? What happened? Did you see Kyson when you was in there? You seen Mr. Yeah, next thing you know, you're going to hear whoop, whoop. You know, when the police come, whoop, whoop. That's going to fuck their whole shit up while they think they bonding. Exactly. I think that's how it's going to go, and it makes sense. It got to make sense. That's the only way it really could go. Because what would be the reason for them to give Mr. William a bond and they revoked Kyson bond got denied? Like, it don't make sense. So let me get back into it, y'all. I'm going to get up with y'all. Let me go through these emails and stuff. And it's not going to be tonight. It's not going to be tonight. It will be tomorrow. We're going to go live tomorrow with the proof, with the evidence, the new information I got on Mr. McIntyre, the stuff I got on Mr. Williams. I got some real good photos of both of these guys, some photos that I wasn't able to find. So I don't know if these is his family members or the people who sent me these photos, because these photos was not on his social media page. So I think this came from somebody who was close to Mr. McIntyre, these photos. Justice for Boog. Yeah, I agree with Willie too, Miss Cora, because Willie makes sense, though. Everything Willie said makes sense. And Miss Cora, like you said too, you was like, well, they let him out to go catch Mr. McIntyre. I said, both of y'all really said the same thing, you and Willie, Miss Cora. But that's true. I just think it's so sad, y'all. I think it is so sad that these babies, that all these kids that's involved in this, everybody, they just threw their whole life away for a couple thousands, a few $100s. It's brazen. Out of everything they could have done with their lives, out of everything they could have done, they choose to go out and do these heinous acts for a little bit of nothing. You could tell looking at these young boys, Mr. Kyson, Mr. Williams, Mr. McIntyre. These young boys was doing all these heinous crimes and heinous robberies for twos and fews. Look at them. What was they doing with the money? What could they possibly be doing with the money but getting high? It looked like they was getting high and drunk with the money. Nobody had a car. Who had a car out of them? I don't think none of them had no car. Mr. Kyson, these dudes was weird. They whole goofies out here, and it's sad that they were so young and threw it all away behind envy. Jealousy and envy. And somebody paid them to do all of this. Somebody opened up that back door besides these assailants. This was not Mr. Kyson and Mr. Kyson, Mr. Williams, and Mr. McIntyre. This wasn't their plan to take Boog out. This was not their plan. Somebody sent them to do this. This wasn't random. This was not random. Boog and Cameron did not go on Dork Place for no reason. Somebody sent them. I think so too, Miss Cora. I think so too. Boog most definitely is a beautiful angel. And I feel like she can, I think she can rest. I think she could rest the way that we all want her to rest at this point. But she fully and truly can't rest until all the killers is captured. Whoever put this whole thing in play and set this whole thing up with these killers, I don't think justice is fully served yet. I don't. But I do think that her family, and I think Courtney in heaven is looking down like, okay, it's all coming together. It's coming together. The police is getting these suspects rounded up. However it's going, in due time, it's all coming together. It's not just going to go unnoticed like, oh, her murder going to be unsolved, XYZ. Nah, it's not going to go like that. And I think with that, her spirit can rest. Like, okay, it's going. They getting it together. Everybody know who is possible behind this. Y'all keep your eyes on MJ. Y'all keep your eyes on all these people. She told us all in the music. I tell you all the time. She gave us the blueprint in the music. And all of this go all the way back from April of 2020. Yeah, Mr. McIntyre gonna lead to the others involved. Cause look, Willie, Mr. McIntyre, he don't got nowhere to go. He probably still talking to his little friends on burnouts and stuff like that. He probably got backup pages through Instagram and stuff like that. But when they put In that title on Google, third suspect still at large. Oh, they on his ass. Mr. McIntyre, it will be a matter of time before he go to jail. It's too much information out on him now. Everybody know the story. Mr. Williams then just rolled over on Mr. McIntyre, told everything about Mr. McIntyre. It's just about a matter of time. They on his ass. Now, I didn't think it was going to. I don't. So it's like, with Mr. Kyson being the oldest out the bunch, right? Because Mr. Kyson is 22. He's the oldest out the whole goddamn bunch. They was following behind Mr. Kyson's lead. And they had to be following Mr. Kyson's lead. But why is that Mr. McIntyre the youngest and he on the run the longest? Like, why they don't got dude yet? Y'all, we gonna get to the bottom of it. The untold truth will be tomorrow. I'm gonna finish eating my lunch. Y'all feel free to send me any information, any photos, any phone numbers, because y'all know I'm gonna follow up on it. Y'all know me. I'm on their ass. So feel free to email me, pipelinenews2020@gmail.com. Anything y'all want to discuss on the channel, hit the like button for me if you in here. Do me a favor and hit the subscribe button on your way up out of here. Also, hit the little bell on the side of the subscribe button so every time I go live, y'all get the notification. Thank y'all for the live. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I'm out of here.